Honorable Speaker, Sir, the Honorable Finance Minister has presented the budget for the present year. In his speech, he has clearly said that the main feature of the budget is to help the downtrodden and the poor people of the state. But actually, it is not so. I have carefully gone through the speech, and in my opinion, this budget is anti-poor. This budget is not progressive. This budget has not covered any new area for the upliftment of the downtrodden and the poor. This budget, in my personal opinion, has not done any justice to the backward regions of Karnataka, Hyderabad Karnataka area, Malnad area, and also the border district areas. This budget discriminates between the urban poor and the rural poor. This budget also discriminates between the people of the urban area living in and around Bangalore and also the people of the urban areas of other parts of the state. Sir, in so far as policies are concerned, I would like to mention that this government has not declared any new policy for the overall uplift of the minorities and backward community people. This budget has imposed a heavy tax on wheat and rice, which is commonly consumed by the poor people. Therefore, I request the Honorable Finance Minister through you, sir, to withdraw immediately these taxes on wheat, rice and others. Now a comprehensive development program for the megacity of Bangalore has come up, and in that program aid will be taken from Asian Development Bank for the development of Mysore, Tumkur and Honorable Chief Minister's constituency was also added in it. It is unfortunate to state that to some of the city municipalities and the urban corporations there is no fund to release the salary for the employees of the corporations or the city municipalities. Sir, I was speaking about the discrimination. I just say that the position of the urban areas which are coming under the city municipalities corporations is also worse. There is no drinking water system, no drainage system, no formation of roads. As per the constitutional amendment, the government is bound to delimit the constituencies and the areas, and suggestions have already come from the Deputy Commissioner that the corporation will also be increased. What are the steps the government is going to take to see that the money is given to all the new areas which have been included to urban areas and developed areas? At least those areas should come on par with other parts of the cities. Is there any proposal for Bangalore? I think you are attracting multinationals. Alright, but why did you practice discrimination for others? Why not some schemes are given to see that other areas should also be equally developed? I humbly request you to think properly and see that some money is given for civic amenities, drinking water infrastructure to urban areas as well as city municipalities and corporations. In so far as unemployment problem is concerned, in the budget it has been mentioned that government is going to give financial assistance to the educated youths to stand on their own feet. Government is going to introduce self-employment schemes under which so many small and cottage industries will be given due encouragement. Benign government is intended to give training to youths to stand on their own feet by adopting new technological innovation in science and technology. Those who have acquired degree in agriculture will be provided with concessional debts through cooperative banks and financial institutions so as to overcome financial stringency, and they will adopt new agricultural methods and techniques to grow more and more food grains. I would appeal to the Honorable Chief Minister that whatever the assurances and commitments of the government that should be fulfilled to the extent possible. Otherwise, people may lose confidence in your government. Sir, on this happy occasion, I would like to add another most important point. The common idea prevalent among our young men is soon after they leave the portals of the university, they look for jobs in government or public sector undertakings. I feel that this tendency on the part of our young men and women should undergo a radical change. There are vast opportunities in other fields and many avenues are open for enterprising young men and women, and they should not hanker for government jobs Engineering science is advancing very rapidly in technology, and what is new and modern today may become obsolete tomorrow. Therefore, my advice to them is that they should keep in touch with the latest improvements, and the best way to do this is to cultivate the habit of reading technical journals like Advanced Science Today, Fortnightly magazine, which throws a light on the vast development activities going on elsewhere. We must not allow their minds to rust with outdated views and ideas only. Compared to other countries, we are far behind, and the task of building our country into a strong and advanced nation rests with the engineering students. It is no doubt true that at present there is a certain amount of unemployment among engineering graduates, but I am quite certain that this is only a passing phase and things will be brighter in the years to come when we could embark on various projects. I am sure our planners will see to this and create more and more employment opportunities to the engineers, for we can ill afford to lose the talents of our young men and women. Engineers have a great part to play, especially in the matter of construction of dams, building factories, generating power, laying roads. In all these works, qualitative and economic considerations should weigh. I am confident that my young friends will realize this when they enter the professional field. At the same time, an engineer must not forget that he is also living in a world of non-engineers. He must be able to get on with them and understand their point of view also. One of the greatest drawbacks of an engineer is that he is yet to learn to live with men of other professions. I hope and trust that you will have fruitful deliberations during budget session for the overall development of Karnataka state. Lastly, I would say that this budget is anti-poor.